Morning all. Well, a bit of an update for you, and it's bad news, but there's always good news, isn't there? Just to illustrate really that you can invest a lot of labour hours and material costs in your work, and then late on in the process actually have a failure. And a case in point here, just to talk you through it, is this Classic 5, which is a custom for Mike Mills, a fabulous bass player in a band called the Seabends. And this one was basically waiting for finish, and when I went to grab it to move it forwards into the finish process, I discovered a problem, and the problem is that the ebony fretboard has started to delaminate from the roasted maple neck there. And my suspicion is that the failure mode here is I used a yellow glue, an aliphatic resin here, Titebond 2, which ordinarily does the job perfectly well. But the roasted maple in the torrefication process becomes lighter and more porous. And my suspicion is that prior to applying the pressure on the cramps, basically the glue had migrated away from the surface down into the maple. So in other words, a slightly dry joint there. So, stuff happens. So that's the bad news. Well, part of the good news is that is recoverable, but actually the time taken to deal with that, I can actually manufacture a replacement neck for Mike, and this one will have some rework and will end up being as good as gold at the end of the day and on another instrument. But this gets me rolling quicker. So already we've remanufactured Mike's blank, carbon rods are in, and another plus for Mike really is that I've now installed a new type of truss rod, which I think is better than the StewMac hot rod truss rods. It has a sleeve, sort of like a shrink wrap plastic sleeve over it, which is another really good feature because it means I don't have to mask around here when I'm applying glue. And also that masking process on when I'm using a yellow aliphatic glue, for example, means that there's less sort of glue area there. So basically a number of improvements embedded in this replacement for Mike. Next steps then, before I bond this ebony fretboard on using these location pins, dowel pockets there, which you can see are also repeated on the neck. Before I do that, I do just have to, which doesn't take long, have to prepare the rear, which will have some chambering in it and then a cap placed on it. It will also receive the RFID security preparation in before the cap is bonded on, and then we'll get the ebony fretboard bonded on, and we're into doing a compound radius for Mike. And actually every cloud has a silver lining, doesn't it? Because when I shared the bad news about this one with Mike, he then said, well, if I was remanufacturing, could it alter the compound radius specification to become closer to his current favoured P-bass, I think it was, that had a particularly nice radius on it. That worked for him, so we're changing the radius on this replacement one from I think it's a 12 to 20 inch compound radius standard compound radius spec that I tend to prefer and sell more of. So there we go. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the workshop, no doubt, on another instalment of the updates to the Bassworks channel here.